Hello, everyone. I see people are joining in. So let's just wait for a couple of more minutes and then we will start with our topic of today's webinar. Hope you all can hear me loud and clear. Please let me know in chat or at least by raising your hand that whether you can hear me or not. Great, Michael. Thank you so much. All right. So let's just wait for a couple of more minutes and then we will get started. Hi, Eddie. Can you hear me? So I see people have joined in and few might join in later on as well. So let's get started here and let me share my screen with you guys. All right. All right. So let's get started. I hope everyone can hear me now, right? Please let me know in chat if you can hear me. Shall we move forward? All right, great. All right, perfect. So first thing first, let's go to the presentation. And the topic of today's webinar is the unstoppable impact of AI on SEO in 2024 and beyond. So now there is no stopping, right? Like the game has changed totally in all possible senses because AI has taken over everything. And it's not going to be as same as it was of optimizing content the way we used to do earlier. And so we have come up with important aspects of how AI is affecting SEO moving forward, and we will be discussing four different uh, criteria here. The first one will be the pros, like it's AI's driver assistance features. So what are the pros of using AI? And then we will move on to the cons, the traffic hazard ahead. Before I move forward, now this time I will try and do something different here, trying to be little different and more relatable. So we will be learning the entire process, or we will be taking over the entire webinar in the form of that we are learning how to drive a car. So that is how we are going to uh, you know uh, relate with AI and SEO when we talk about learning how to drive a car. So that is something that I'm also doing it for first time. But yeah, looks interesting. Let's take it forward. And yeah, so the pros, the cons of using AI, and then comes how outranking can be your ultimate driving assistant, and then what is the driver's manual for success. So these are the 4 points that we will be covering through our road of SEO highway. And so let's get forward and go to our first slide here. Here you go. The pros: AI drivers assistance features. Now, what we'll be doing is we will be, first of all, looking into the pros and cons, and then we will move forward with outrankings perspective of helping you out with limitations of AI. And I will be showing you live demonstration on what you should do apart from using AI, and not rely on AI at all for certain things, which is definitely going to help you rank better. So let's look into the pros here. The first one is, let's say, content strategy navigator. So how this is a pro? Like, earlier in old school times, like we used to have a paper maps, to read a map and to go wherever we used to go with the car. But now we have Google Maps, right? Like that's how easy life has been. Same goes with AI as well. It has become so easy for us. So let's say, for example, 500 words turn right into your target audience interest. That's how it is, right? So that is one thing, that you can use AI to create your content strategy, to help you understand like what would be the right way to move forward. Getting some parameters and data from your competitors to understand what would be the right content strategy for you to move forward and lay out your own map. So that is something that you should use AI for. Secondly, moving on is optimization copilot. Like, like having lane keeping assistant, assist for your content, like, drifting away from your keywords, or if you're not doing something, which is dropping down your engagement level in your content. That's where AI will come into the picture and will tell you that you need to write content which is more engaging, and which is definitely using some keywords that it should, because your competitors are doing so. And that's where you should use AI. So, in other words, if I tell you, like, getting some suggestions on where to use, what to use, and how to use certain keywords, or let's say engagement levels on your content that you are creating. So that's where you can take help of AI to find the right balance of keywords and engagement in your content that you're writing. Thirdly, time and money efficiency. So it's like upgrading from a bicycle to Tesla. Uh, you know, what used to take days, now it takes hours, and what used to take hours, now it takes maybe minutes. So that's how it is. Like, take AI for granted for certain things, wherein you can save a lot of time by automating certain things which you were doing earlier manually. So so let's say, for example, you're writing a content, a piece of let's say 2K words, and uh, doesn't matter, like, there will be few things in your content that you can easily write with AI, and you should do that. But you need to do it in a way which, anyway, the content that is generated by AI is still very engaging and interesting, and little different than what usually people are writing with the regular tone of writing. So that is how you can use AI, and that is how you can save a lot of time and money. And it's like less time planning routes, more time enjoying the journey. That's what your target should be. So let the planning get done by AI, rather you enjoy the journey by putting up your own perspective, your own style of writing, and get things done moving forward. Now, lastly, style transmission. So now that is something very interesting point, and which you should definitely take AI for granted, in fact, and that is switching writing styles like changing gears of your car. So, AI can help you write content wherein you know where you need to go on high page, where you need to go on low page, where your content needs to be little witty, where your content needs to be engaging. So you can change your tone of writing, you can change your parameters in a way which is going to help you write content, which is little more interesting than what others are writing using AI. At the end of the day, it's all AI, but you can be you can be little different in the way you want to write your content using AI. So try different styles. Rather, don't try to use tones like professional, easy to understand, casual, and something informational, conversational. This is something very basic, and everyone is using it. It's all same. So rather, try to use certain tone of writing which are a little different, and you will be amazed with the content that is generated using AI. So it doesn't matter like which AI you use, which company's AI you use, doesn't matter at all. Whether it's Gemini, Claude, Chat GPT, anything you use, at the end of the day, it's all AI. So you need to add your own value to it. It's not going to, if you think that just creating content using AI is going to help you rank, then you are living in a world which was before 2024 and not in 2024 or moving forward. So you need to keep this in mind that uh, AI is not going to take you there where the flight takes off. It will just take you to the airport and maybe nearby to the flight. You will have to take the flight, and then you need to take the journey moving forward into the sky. So that's how it is. And let's get forward here with the cons. The cons, the traffic hazards ahead. So the first point that we will be covering here is traffic jam of sameness. Everyone is using the same AI navigation app. Everyone is using AI, right? Like some might be generating some very good content, some might be generating mediocre, or some might be generating okay content. But at the end of the day, everyone is generating content using AI, right? So that is something that is going to produce sameness among the content generated by everyone, because all are taking the same route to the same destination, and that's why there is going to be a sameness in everything that you do. So that is one of the major con of AI, of using AI. Second one is human touch speed bump. So AI is great, but it can't replace the human driving instinct, right? Like can you just think about it, that can you learn parallel parking using manual? You cannot, right? Like it's the experience that comes along using a car or driving a car, wherein you will know how to park a car parallel to other car. So that's how it is. You need to give your own touch to it. You need to you need to add your own perspective to your content, because your idea, your perspective is definitely going to be different from the other person who is writing. Everyone has their own mind, everyone has their own way of writing things, everyone has their own way of displaying things or putting things together. So that really makes sense now. And moving forward, Google's highway patrol. Google's got the radar gun out, man. Let me tell you that. So, uh, checking the authentic and quality content is what Google does most of the time, and does it very deeply, in depth, after so much of AI coming into the market. So they are going to go deep down with your content, and if you are just relying on content generated by AI, they will easily crack it down. They are master of all. They know who writes content, who writes content actually, and who generates the content. They know the difference very well. And trust me, they are not against content generated by AI, but they want you to give the ultimate value to the users, which AI cannot. So you need to make sure that this is one of the major con, that Google is looking after the content that has been generated by AI. It's not against it, but it's definitely against the content generated by AI and only AI, wherein you have not put in any efforts. So that is one thing. Secondly, now let's move forward here and go to our fourth. con, and that is a faulty seatbelt. And this is something very important. So you are not writing content for an email, right? You're writing content for your website. You're writing informational, valuable content, and you are writing SEO content. So it needs to be fact checked, right? And AI is not going to do that for you, or maybe does it to a level. There is a strong chance that it may not fact check everything and give you data or generates content which is 100% fact checked. So there's a high chance of faulty seatbelt, and that's how you're gonna meet with an accident. So this is one thing that uh, which is very important when it comes to writing content which is more valuable and provides right insights to the users. And fact checking is something that AI has limitation to it, and it might just produce information which is not relevant, or maybe not up to the mark, or maybe just generating same thing again and again. Or also sometimes you can say that it's generating something which is altogether false from what is actual content or what has happened in history. So this is something which is really bothering everyone, in fact, when it comes to AI, because when you generate content using AI, you will have to fact check it, everything, right? Because if it's not fact checked, you're not getting it right. That is for sure. The EEAT drivers test, and that's the last point in the cons. And that is like, having a simulator isn't the same as real driving experience, right? Driving a game of a car and driving your car on your TV is not as same as driving actual car. And Google's wants to see your actual driving history. So AI alone cannot take years of road experience, right? Like it cannot fake years of road experience for you just using AI. You need to got that experience, you need to got that expertise, and you need to got that trustworthiness with your car and with everyone around, that you know your car well and you will drive safe. So that is something that is always going to be difficult with using AI, because it is not going to give you, it is just going to share some uh, content with you from based on the examples or from the experience that others had earlier, but it is not going to show the experience and the expertise that you have in your content that is generated by AI. So that is again one of the more important con, most important, I will say, in fact, the con of AI. And the five major cons that you see here are very important to be addressed, and addressed in a way wherein it helps you to generate content and to optimize the content later on, which helps you to rank with Google. So let's move forward, and now let's go on to our third slide here. Outranking your ultimate driving assistant. Right? So here we are, and how we will look into how outranking will help you to do everything that you want to do, and addressing the cons of AI, and helping you out, go beyond that, and make sure that you have content that has value, that has expertise, that has experience in it, and everything that you need for Google to show off and to say, hey, Google, please give me a higher rank. I have a content which has good insights. Experience is very much visible with the content that I'm creating. And that all matters at the end of the day, and not the content that you generate using AI. So you need to look into this particular cons, and you need to understand that you need to address those cons in a way which makes sure that your content is valuable for the users. Now, moving forward, let's take the first point here, the Route Planner Pro. So, like having a master driving instructor. So, this is something where outranking comes into the picture, and it helps you to navigate every step that you need to take moving forward, one by one at a time. So you are not lost. You have a planner of the entire route. You know your navigation, and you all you need to do is just follow the steps, and that will take you to the place that you need to be. Secondly, the second one comes into the picture is buckle up, fact checked. So here the seat belts are not faulty, and I'll tell you why. So what outranking does is when you create a document, you enter your topic or a keyword, you select your title that has been generated, and then outranking goes into the top 20 pages of your competitors for who are ranking for that keyword or topic in your given location, and it analyzes the every minute detail on their page. It analyzes the entire content, and then it adds all the content which is already ranking to your background research data to feed AI, so that AI can consider that information and it can write in altogether new style of format. So the background research that you have added is of top superior quality from the top 20 ranking pages. And that is something very important, right? Like generating content haywire from internet is very easy for AI, but generating content with a RAG system with a background research data, which is actually going to help you to fact check 99% of the things and make sure that your content has actual fictional details in it, and it's more sort of fact check because the details are taken as a background research from the top 20 ranking pages from Google. So there are very high chances that the content that you are generating is already fact checked. Then comes the performance tuner, and that is auditing. If you talk it in a different way, like, uh, optimize where outranking suggests you to optimize. So it will tell you, like, this is wrong, try to optimize this is wrong, try to optimize that, your internal link is less, try to add an internal link, or maybe add an external link, or add some common terms which are really important, or maybe a meta description which is not targeting enough keywords. So these are all the tuner for your performance that outranking will help you to make sure that you optimizing all the important elements that you need to do before you publish your content and goes for indexing and ranking. And the last one is the expert engine. Now, this is something which is very, very important. And that is like, turns robot driving into human expertise. Now, you are generating content using AI up till now, and altogether, you are adding certain things all by yourself, giving your human touch, human editing to every outline that you have created. Now, you will be adding that value to your content, but outranking will exactly tell you what you need to add where, which is going to add originality to your content or which is going to add uniqueness to your content. And that's where outranking will help you to figure out what all you need to do to make sure that you get originality and uniqueness score higher than anyone else within your competitors. Now we will be going through the demonstration where I will cover these four important points, that the route planner pro. So we have a navigation and we have the workflow where we understand what we need to do one by one. Then comes the fact checking part, and then the performance tuner, and then expert engine. So let's quickly go ahead. Let me share my other screen here. All right, guys, I hope you can see my screen, and we are on outranking. Right? So this is a dashboard where you will see all your documents, everything that you create will be here. And as I always say, please pass on any topic or any keyword that you would like to write or you want to see demonstration on. So just send me any topic or any keyword that you would like to see creating content on. Ray, I'm sorry for that, but yeah, I would like to understand and I would like to give information which might help everyone. But yeah, Ray, you can give me any topic or anything that you would like to see the demonstration on. Anyone, please give me any topic or keyword in the chat and I will take it forward from there. Anyone for any topic, or shall I just take any random topic? All right, then I'll just take any topic all by myself and let's get forward. Can you guys see my screen? All right, so let's get started. I will take the topic all by myself. Okay, Stephen, thank you so much. Please give me the topic here and I will take that topic as one of the example. All right, this is something. Sorry about the spelling. All right, but this is the right spelling, right? Holistic healthcare. Okay. All right, I'll take the first one. Okay. Okay, so you gave me the right spelling again here. No problem. So we are on the dashboard here where you will see all your documents. Everything that you create will be here. You can create folders and you can club them in folders and organize your documents. Now let's quickly go on to new document here where you will see three different options: SEO brief, AI assisted writing, and optimize existing content. SEO brief is something wherein let's say you have a bunch of writers who are writing content for you all manually, and you need to give them a brief with every important detail on SEO optimization, like what should be the related keywords, what should be the common terms, what should be the outlines, the title, the meta description, competitive analysis of top 20 pages. Every detail will be under the brief. You can just give the brief and that's it. Like they can see the brief and they know exactly how to write the content which is going to be SEO friendly. Second one is AI assisted SEO writing, which is the most famous one, wherein you will be creating content from scratch by creating title outlines, then generating entire quality SEO first draft, and then optimizing the content further and then publishing it. That all comes under AI assisted writing. But let's say you're optimizing your existing web page or a document. You can enter a primary keyword here. If you're optimizing a URL like a web page, you can enter the URL here and create new document. It will audit the content, it will import the content, audit it, and it will tell you exactly what all is wrong with it. But let's say you don't have a URL, you simply have a document, and you want to audit that document, the content on the document. Then you can just leave the URL empty and then create new document, and then you can paste the content and audit it as well. So we will go forward the AI assisted SEO writing, and I will use the given topic. I'm not sure what does this mean, but yeah, let's take it forward from here. You can go into advanced settings and you can select a location, maybe a city if you're doing local SEO marketing, or maybe a state or a country as per your requirement. And that is very important because on the basis of that, outranking is going to analyze the top 20 pages of that location and it's going to give you suggestions which will help you to outrank them. So make sure that you have the right location. And now let's go forward and click on create new document. Now this might take maybe 10 to 20 odd seconds and we should be moving forward with our first screen. All right, Stephen, Los Angeles, I missed that, but that's okay. All right, here we go. And this is the first screen that you will see. And the first issue that we will be addressing here is putting up things in the right manner to help you understand the proper navigation, the proper route of how you need to move forward. So when you are creating a content, the first step is always title. Then comes the outline generation, where you define your outlines that you want to have, like the H2s and H3s. And then come writing on those outlines and then optimizing it or editing it further. So this is something very important here, and we will be looking into all the steps one by one. Currently, we are on the title step right now, and outranking has generated some intent-driven, unique titles for you automatically. So these are some titles. You can select the one that goes with your requirement. So let's say I select the first one here, and you see that I am targeting all the keywords important. The target is 10 plus, and I'm targeting 14, so that's great. But I'm missing out on one thing here. So the thing that you see in the red is add primary keyword, and I am somehow, I do have primary keyword, but that is, so I added the primary keyword in lowercase while here is uppercase, so that's fine, because at the end of the day it doesn't really matter whether it's uppercase or lowercase. So you can still go forward with this, or you can just change it for the sake of your mind if you want to, but that's okay, right? Like it doesn't matter. And let's refresh the SEO score. Wait, we have a spelling mistake here. Yes, that's why. It wasn't about the uppercase, lowercase. Rather, it's something related to this. If you see the name given here is VESE, while here it's VAS, right? And that's how I think it's pronounced. But we missed it out somewhere, Stephen. Yeah, never mind. Let's just change it to, or rather, just wait. We will change this because I want to show you something very important, and that's why S. Okay, let me just copy this. All right. And we will be using the same topic again quickly so that I can show you the right suggestions. Otherwise, everything is going to fall apart, right? Now we can put Los Angeles as well. And now let's go forward with this one. All right. If I had entered a wrong topic, so this is something very important that just happened here. Like if I have a spelling mistake or something, I will have to create a new document, because on the basis of your topic, outranking is going into SERP and collecting information from the top 20 ranking pages. So things will not match up if your topic is having a misspelling or something. So just make sure before you create a new document that your topic is perfect. Now let's quickly go ahead and select a title that goes along. Now you see there is no add primary keyword notification because we are covering the primary keywords here. And once you select, like let's say we go ahead with any one of it, which really makes sense. Don't try to target everything here. Like rather try to focus on a title which matches your use case, and that will be more important, right? But yeah, try to at least target 10 plus keywords here, and that should be enough. So let's say we go ahead with this one. I select the title here, and the first thing that you will see is web page type comes out automatically as informative blog post. So it all depends on the title selection, right? Like if it's talking about service, automatically it will change it to local business service page. And this is very important. If you want to change this from here, you can do that as well, but outranking will automatically identify for you what sort of web page you are trying to write here. And this is why this is important, is because when you go on to the next step, that is outline, outranking is going to generate outlines on the basis of the title and the web page type you're trying to write. So that is something very important. And now you can also generate more results from here if you want to. You can edit it right here if you want to. Now let's go to the next step, that is outline. Now when you click on outline, oh, just a second. Yeah. So when you click on outline, your workflow will minimize here. You can maximize it from here. And now you see we are on the second step, that is outline. Now, outranking is generating some intent-driven, user intent-driven unique outlines for you using research and keywords automatically. So you'll get to see some 360, from a 360 perspective of ideas that you can use as H2s and H3s. So let's look into it and see how it looks with the outlines that has been created. And mind it, all these outlines are all newly written outlines. These are not copy-pasted or rewritten at all. Unlocking post vasectomy parenthood, the lore of fatherhood after vasectomy, decoding the vasectomy reversal process, surgical techniques, determining candidacy and cost versus benefits. weighing financial implications, emotional and relational consideration, the critical role of surgeon expertise, the journey to recovery, timeline and expectations post procedure, tips to ensure optimal healing, anticipation the outcomes, anticipating the outcomes, exploring alternative paths to fatherhood, and lastly, outranking will always come up with FAQs, and that is very important. If you're putting up a page or specifically a service page or a blog page, you should definitely have FAQs at the bottom for giving the ultimate value to your users by going through it and quickly getting the knowledge that they need to know. So make sure that you have FAQs at the end. Now let's look into the left part of the screen. So if you click on see more, you will see all the keywords that you need to try and target in your outline, that is H2 and H3 only. So we are targeting 22 right now, and the target is 10 plus. If you want to add something manually, you can always do that by simply adding the keyword wherever it makes sense to you. So let's say, for example, how is a vasectomy reverse, right? Like let's say, for example, I create a new add H3 here. I will add it up here, and now you see I'm targeting so many more keywords. So you can edit wherever you want to and add some keywords only if it makes sense. Don't try to forcefully add anything in your content at all. That used to work earlier before 2024, but just stuffing keywords without any requirement is not going to help anymore. Rather, it's going to show a negative impression about your content. So make sure. Now, let me show you something very important again. Let's say you want to add your custom H2 all by yourself. You add, click on add H2, and you can add a custom H2 at the bottom. Just a second. Yeah, here. And you would like to get some ideas on this, right? Like what could be added in the form of subtopics. So you can always click on H3 ideas, and that is going to generate some H3 ideas for you on the basis of the H2 that you've added here. Here you go. Overview of vasectomy reversal procedure, step-by-step description, alternative reversal method, pre-operative consideration. So it's talking sense, right? Like it's talking in right manner, what needs to be added where. So this is something important that you can take a benefit of. Now, these are the things wherein you should take benefit of AI, because this is going to help you generate some ideas that you might not have thought about, right? And now moving forward, now we will be covering the second part here, that is buckling up, fact checking, and that's where this screen comes into the picture. You can see here that these are the top 20 pages which are already ranking. These are the top 20 URLs which are already ranking for this keyword. And if you click on expand all, you can see what sort of outlines they are adding, they have added to their content, which is already ranking. Now, let's say if you want to add something interesting which you have missed out on, you can simply click here, and that will be added to your outline at the bottom here. Here you go. Now you can rephrase it and make it your own. This way, you're not missing out on anything that your competitors have. So you can use this method, or you can also drag and drop and change the sequence wherever you want to, and just put it up wherever. Let's club it up with FAQs, for example. So you can do that right from here and move forward. Now, when we talk about fact checking, what outranking does is it adds the content from all these top 20 pages to the background research at the back end here. So it is adding the valuable content which is already ranking in Google to the background research, and ultimately to feed AI to take into consideration that information and write content in altogether new style. So that is why it is very important, and this is customizable as well. So you can create your own custom background research. Now let's say there might be a couple of URLs which might not have relevant information, and you would like to remove them from the background research. Let's say, for example, Wikipedia might have something which is not might be fake. In that case, if you want to remove it, like what you can do is you can simply click on this icon, and this entire URL will be removed from the background research data. So this is something important that you can do, and custom your background research. Also, there might be certain URLs which have really good content on it, but they are unfortunately not ranking in top 20. And you would like to add those URLs to the background research data for quality output. You can click on add URL, and you can add up to 100 URLs at a time, and just click on add URL, and all those URLs will be added to background research data. And that's how we are building up a quality background research data to generate content which is even more superior quality. Now we are done with the second step here. Before we move forward, this is something very important when it comes to navigation and understanding like what are the actual requirements. The requirement here is you need to have around 15 to 26 outlines altogether. Try to be in between, like don't go way too overboard. You can go a little bit overboard. You can have maybe 27, 28, 29, but don't go way too overboard, and try to be in this range, and that is going to help you generate content which is more SEO friendly. So we have 26 right now, that's fine, but I'll just remove few of the outlines so that we can generate first draft quickly. All right, so we have 17 now. Let's go ahead with 17. And now we will be moving on to the next step. So if I click on write yourself, I'll be directly taken to the editor where I can start creating content all by myself by writing here, or I can use the prompt facility as well that outranking gives. So to use the prompt facility, you can add a greater than sign and write your prompt right here. So let's say write an introduction on the tone of writing should be, let's say, uh, easy to understand and witty at times. I'm just showing you something random here. The answer should not exceed more than, let's say, 150 words. And the more specific you are with your prompt, the more detailed information it will generate. Now then you can click on run prompt and it is going to generate the content for you. But again, it is not going to generate content anywhere from internet. It will look into the top 20 pages background research data, and then it will generate the content. Here you go. Right, so if you see the content, tone of writing quality, especially for the those gents who have previously marched to the beat of the snip snap vesticommy drum, right, like it's trying to be witty where it makes sense. And that's how you can change the tone of writing and be a little more interesting in your content creation. And it will also give you the sources of URL from where the background research has been done, so you know exactly from where the content has been taken as background research. So this is one way of generating content quickly, one by one, for every outline that you have. Now let's go back to our outline step and let's click on first draft. So now when you click on first draft, you will be taken to the third step to the workflow, and that is writing tools. And this is a very important step because here we will be generating content altogether for all the outlines. And before we do that, there are certain important things that you need to understand. So as I said, like you can change gears with the AI, like how you want your content to be generated. So you can mention all these parameters here, like you can modify these parameters, or you can create your own style guide template, like what should be the tone, how to use, what should be the voice, how to use verbs, how to write comparison type sections, how to write FAQs, all of this. And you can modify this, give the template name, and use the template every time you generate the content. But let's say you don't want to generate a template, rather you simply want to change few parameters here and there and then move forward with the first draft. Let's say, for example, friendly and funny, voice, how to use verbs, how to write comparison type sections. You can change all of this. How to write FAQs, if you want a little less information on FAQs, you can change this to your less characters. How to write best products, how to answer all of the sections. Now this says concisely with fewer and shorter sentences broken down into small passages. Now let's say if you really want information to be very much detailed, you can change this, you can remove this, and you can write detailed information broken down into small passages. And that's how it's going to generate more information for you. And then before moving forward, now this option is only available with SEO Wizard and SEO Writer Plan, the higher level plans, wherein you can click on Generate Optimize First Draft and Generate Originality Suggestions. The first option here, Generate Optimize First Draft, is going to generate a draft for you, which is almost 60 to 70% optimized from the very beginning. While the second one is generate originality suggestion, is that is aligned with Google's EEAT algorithm. and we will talk about it in detail once we generate it. So let's quickly go ahead and click on generate first draft. Now this is going to generate the content for us step by step for all the outlines that we have here. This might take maybe 5 to 7 minutes, but yeah, you can see the content is getting generated. So meanwhile, guys, any questions or anything that you have in mind that you would like to talk about, please raise your hand. I can unmute, or you can write out in chat. Guys, any questions or anything that you would like to talk about, please let me know in chat. Content is getting written. Yep. It should not take more than 4 or 5 minutes. Stephen, are the outlines and the title that we have selected matches your use case, or did it match of what you're looking forward to for this topic? Meanwhile, you can also look into the quality that it writes for you. Like the tone of writing was friendly and funny. So yeah, it will try to be funny wherever it makes sense. You're almost there. Yes, Steven, definitely. Like, just reach out to me on support@outranking.io with your, email ID that you're using for outranking, and I will share the document with you for sure. Yes, it's using GPT-4, Michael, and we are in process of upgrading this in coming weeks to GPT-4o. Along with that, we are also using DaVinci training models, and apart from that, we have our own algorithm which goes into Google and collects information from today's date also. So if something is indexed in Google today, it will also consider that information before it starts writing for you in altogether new manner. Are there best practices for tone Excel? Does outranking make suggestion for all of the options? So you will have to decide on what tone suits best for your requirement. But we have a very good article on tone of writing, which you all should look into because that is doing wonders. Like we are getting a lot of inquiries from this article itself. I'll just share it with you all. It has way more value. Like if you read it out, like it has a lot of value that it will give some insights to you. So I'm just sharing the link of the document here with you all on tone of writing. Definitely look into it. Like it will give you a lot of information, valuable information. When will you support chat gpt? Oh, very soon, maybe within a month or so we will be releasing a new release is going to take place maybe within a month or max 1.5 from now, where we'll be putting up more enhancements and also changing the model that we have right now and moving on to GPTO. Along with that, we will be enhancing few other things as well, and our release will go out as well for everyone over email, and that should happen, as I said, like within a month or max 1.5. So yes, stay tuned for that. We usually put the article in SEMrush to test the ranking on Google. Sometimes our outranking articles start with a low score in SEMrush. Is there a way to account for SEMrush ranking? See, okay. So every other tool that you're using will have different ways of putting up things, different ways of auditing things. So it will always vary. So if you do something using SEMrush and you put it up here, and this will be in a different direction, right? And if you put something here on outranking and then you want to go on to SEMrush, it will definitely be a little variable over here and there. So that is definitely going to have those effects in whatever case, whatever tools you use. When you'll be comparing it, there will be different changes from one to other. That's definitely given. But yeah, like there can't be a immense amount of change, right? Like uh, if the SEO score should be around 80, and when you put up the content in SEMrush and it goes up to, let's say, for example, to 20, now that is something very drastic and very bothering. So if you have something like that, Janet, that you have faced, like, do share with me a video or screenshot or some example or support at the outranking.io, and I will definitely look into it. And yeah, let me tell you one more thing, Janet. Like, SEMrush is more towards keyword research, and that is the primary area. Like I always say, we have a strategist as well, right? Like we have a tool strategist wherein you can find the opportunity of keywords. But I always say, like, SEMrush has been the tool for keyword research, and that is the main forte of SEMrush, and it is going to be fantastic when you do the keyword research with SEMrush. But when you are optimizing your content using SEMrush, it might not be as good as what it does with research tool, because that is not the forte that they are into. It is just that they need to increase the level of audience that they are catering to, and that's why everyone will come up with different features and different inbuilt tools along with the tool that they have to give more value. But yeah, like if you say for keyword research, I agree, SEMrush is very good. But if you say for optimizing the content or to write the content or to uh, you know uh, put everything in the right place using SEMrush for your content, it's not up to the mark. It's not, because that's not their forte of expertise. Their expertise forte is keyword research. The way we don't do keyword research, the way they do it, they won't be able to do optimization the way we do it. And that's how it is for every other tool with their own expertise. Yeah, so we are done with the content generation here, and we have written 2512 words already. And if if we were on our presentation, now we have covered 2 points, that is the workflow route, like what should be the steps that we need to follow, and the fact checking part. Now comes the performance tuner. So here now we are on the fourth step, optimize, and here is your tuner. So these are all the SEO elements that you need to look into one by one and make sure that they are up to the mark as per the suggestions that Outranking is giving you. But one very important thing that you need to understand here is, okay, so everything that you see in the green dot is already well optimized, so you don't have to worry about it. While wherever you will see the red dot, that means that there is a lot of scope of improvement. You might see yellow somewhere, and that says that this is okay, but still you can improve it. Now, don't force yourself to turn everything into green, because doing so, you are definitely going to compromise on your use case, on your context of writing. So don't try to focus to change everything into green. Rather, try to add things which really adds value to your content. So let's say, for example, we go to common terms, and here you can see that these are all the keywords. Now, common terms includes related keywords, NLP terms, semantic variations, all of it. The target is 80%, but that doesn't mean that you add 80% no matter what. Try to add things which really make sense. Currently, you are on 37%, right? Now, let's say the first thing that you need to look into is, how many pages this particular keyword has been used by your competitors. So it says 10 competitors are using this particular keyword in their content. So this makes sense. This is a common word and you should have it. The typical use is 3 to 6 while you have 0. You can click on this magic wand and it will try and generate a suggestion for you by rewriting a passage for you which adds this keyword in it. Here you go. Right? Now, this is coming from the suggestions that we have got for originality. So it will not make sense, but yeah, you can, let's say so this is the target passage and this is a rewritten one. Now the thing is that sometimes it might just generate something which might not match your use case. So you can regenerate it if you want to and get some ideas which really make sense. So this is the passage here. And this is a rewritten one. If you don't like it, you can simply regenerate or you can accept, and this will be replaced by this particular content. Now, one more very important thing here is that if you want to, like, let's say for example, you know the topic well and you can add this all by yourself, then you can also do this. If you are not getting a suggestion which is up to mark as per your requirement, in those cases what you can do is you can add that word manually as well wherever it makes sense. So it will try and find a target passage for you and you can either add this keyword here manually or you can simply accept the passage and that's how it's going to rewrite for you and it will replace the content for you. So this is something that you can do and change and target the keyword. Now you see you're targeting 2 times, and that's how you're adding that keyword in your content. Now similarly, you can look into the more keywords here, and the more the number of pages that has been used in, the more that keyword you should use. And again, we make sure that you are in this range, don't go overboard, right? But okay, let me take you an example. Let me show you an example here. Let's say this is one word here, Vescatomy site. Now this has been used in just 3 pages, while the typical use is 1 to 2 only. So only few top ranking people have used this keyword, and that has been used very rarely. So make sure you are using these keywords correctly. Correctly, when I say correctly, that means that if this keyword doesn't make sense to your content, just ignore it. Don't try to add it because it has not been used in many pages and also the usage is very less. Try to focus on keywords which has more usage and which has been used in more pages by your competitors, which make sure that the keywords that you're using are the right ones and you are not just stuffing the keywords forcefully just because it is mentioned here. So, as I said, there are limitations to AI, right? Like you cannot expect AI to do everything for you. Rather, it will take you to a level which is 70%, but rest, you need to put up your mind and make sure that you are adding the right keywords which really make sense and edit at the right place. And for that, you can use AI again to generate some suggestions. And this is one way of generating suggestions one by one and adding or rewriting a passage and adding content in your editor. So just make sure that you are using the right keywords when it comes to common terms and don't try to add all the keywords that you see. Now here reversal has been used 38 times. If you click here, it will highlight it for you where you're using it. Now you can see it has been used 38 times while the typical use is 17 to 36, right? So it means that you need to use this keyword little less, or you can remove it by just clicking here and see where you're using it and remove wherever it makes sense to remove. And this is one way of getting in this range. Or you are 38, so that's fine, you're not going way too overboard, though that's okay. Now moving on to originality, I will show this part because it's altogether a different part, and that is related to EEAT of Google's algorithm. Images, it says 2 to 3 images, you need to add 2 to 3 images, and these are the number of images your competitors are using. You can click here and go to your competitors page and see what sort of image they are using. Internal links, you can add your sitemap here, and that is going to generate the entire suggestions from your website, all the links that you can club here, and do the internal link. Requirement is only one internal link, so yeah, that should work fine. External link, minimum three links, external link from different domains to your content. And that is very important. This shows Google that you're not insecure about your content and you're trying to add more information to your content and giving more value to your users without worrying about that you're adding content from different domains. Video, try to add at least one video. It can be an embedded YouTube video, that's fine. List items, try to put up things in the form of bullet pointers, and currently we are 12 and requirement is 6, so that's we are anyway above that. Moving on to tables. So table says opportunity. That means that none of your competitors have table on their content. While if you add a table, you will be the only one with unique table among all the competitors. So you have a leverage over others, and that is going to help you to rank better. So try to add a table and add some valuable information in it. Like you can create table using this as well and fill in information, or you can let's refresh SEO score, and now you'll see there are one here, right? And you can also use a prompt facility to generate a table. Like you can create your library, add a prompt. Let me just show you an example here. And like write a score. Okay, so this is not related to this topic, but yeah, I'm just showing you an example. Write a score for your organic essential oil for skin based on variety, cost, benefits, and effectiveness. Out of 5, write the details in the form of table with 2 columns separated by line. I click on run prompt, and it will try and generate a table for me on the basis of this prompt. Here you go. This is something that you can do and generate a table. There are two ways to do that, as I just showed. And yeah, so there are more SEO elements. Try to optimize them, and the way you start doing that, your SEO score will also climb up. The target is 77, so you need to achieve at least 77. And if you are optimizing most of the things, you will be going above 80, 85, 90 as well. So put your target at least above 77 and not just 77. And yeah, so your word count is 2580 right now, while the typical requirement is 759 to 2804. So that's okay as well. Now let's take the last coverage that outranking does for you, of being an ultimate driving assistant, and that is expert engine, and that is EEAT. Now, how outranking helps you to add content which is original, unique, and which shows off Google that you are expertise, you have expert, you are an expert, you are an experienced person, and you are trustworthy enough on the content that you are trying to write. And how to show off this to Google. So these are the suggestions that outranking comes up with automatically for every outline that you see. So the brackets that you see, again, those are suggestions. This suggestion 1 to 3 are the additional suggestions. So you need to implement any of the suggestions manually all by yourself here by giving your own perspective, idea, and thought to it. Like you're adding originality and uniqueness to your content. And now let's look into the suggestion that we see here. So let's just take randomly and see what we find here, like qualities to look for in a top surgeon. Insert a chart, Vestacomy reversal success rate by surgeon qualification, right? So it's talking sense. It's telling you to add a chart which shows the qualification and the success rate in comparison to that. Call out boss, what to ask your surgeon, top 5 questions. So it's giving you certain things that try to implement this thing here, remove this, just implement this particular thing here, and that is going to show off Google that you know this topic very well, and that's why you are adding certain stats of success ratio of as per the qualification of surgeon. And only an expert and experienced person can add something like this to the content, and not AI. Now you can do this, you can create this using AI as well, right? But outranking doesn't want you to do this using AI. Rather, outranking wants you to implement this suggestion all by yourself by adding your own perspective idea to it. Now let's look into some other suggestions here. Include a small biography or credentials for a few top surgeons to provide real-world example of expertise and trustworthiness. Add testimonials or reviews from previous patients to enhance trust and provide personal experience regarding the surgeon expertise. Improve readability by breaking up the text into bullet points that highlight the key qualities to look for in the top surgeon. Now this can be done easily right here using AI as well. So let's say this is the content. You add a greater than sign to enable the prompt. You write, we write the following into the bullet pointers format, right? And I'll just put everything into inverted commas and I'll just run the prompt. This might take few. Yeah, here you go. See? So this is something that you can do and generate content in a way which is going to add more uniqueness to it. So this is we just did this, and outranking is not telling you to implement all the suggestions. Just try to implement suggestion which really makes sense, and you can implement maybe a one or two suggestion at a time, or you if it doesn't make sense, just remove them from here, and that's it. Get done with it, right? So you will find certain suggestions at all the places and if you look at it like they will be very different and they are all going to boost about how experienced and expert you are about the topic that you're writing. So include a patient testimonial, integrate a visually appealing infographic that outlines the steps to take when searching for a specialist. So it will really add value to your content. Incorporate a brief list of common questions and answers related to the post procedure care, right? So who writes this? Someone who knows about this topic very well. Include an infographic that provides a visual timeline. Now, when someone adds a timeline with step-by-step time to it, like this shows that you know your thing very well. Include statistics about recovery time, success rates for vasectomy reversals. So now, when you are adding stats about recovery and success rate, it shows that you have done your research. You know the topic well, right? So it will come up with suggestions which really make sense. And when you implement the suggestion, this is how you're going to add the ultimate value to your content along with using AI to generate content. So if you're just generating content with AI and publishing it by editing and then publishing it, it is 99% cases your content is not going to rank. But if you implement the suggestions along with the content that you generated using AI, this is definitely going to help you to rank in Google because you're adding additional value to your content, which is from your perspective, from your idea point of view, because you are doing it manually, right? Implementing it all by yourself and adding something which is showing off that you are expert about the topic and you have experienced about what you're writing. So this is something that is very important and has the ultimate value to make sure that you rank higher in Google. And lastly, once you're done with that, once you've edited, once you've added the suggestions, you can go to the last step, that is publish. And then you can simply download images, download markdown version, clean HTML version. If you're using WordPress, you can install the WordPress outranking plugin on WordPress, and there is an API key available in the settings. You can copy paste the API key, and on one click, you can simply create a draft or publish the content right in your website as well. You can copy all the content and then just paste in other editor if you're not using WordPress, and all in zip will download everything mentioned above. You can also generate Google Doc right from here, and if you want to share it with your team, click here, click on share with team, set the team member give edit view rights, and just share it, and they will have access to this content as well, and they can start editing it further, optimizing it further. So that's about it, guys. Any questions or anything that you have in mind that you would like to talk about? And lastly, I would like to conclude with very important point here, that is the driver's manual for success. So as I mentioned, use AI to read the road signs. Don't literally just leave it on your Tesla to ride it for you. It might ride perfectly sometimes and it might not at some time, right? So just make sure that you are looking into it and making sure that you're adding value to your content. You need to control the steering wheel. So the control needs to be in your hand and not in the hands of AI. Navigate with your experience, so you make changes as per your experience and not just leave it on the AI to write it for you and just leave it and publish it. And this is how you're going to park your car perfectly in the audience mind. So and just to conclude it here, we are already about time, 10 minutes. AI is like having the world's smartest car, but you still need to know how to drive it, right? So use AI wisely for the cases where it's required, and not just rely on AI for everything, because that is not going to help you to rank. It is just going to help you to take you to a level where you can do things all by yourself and then rank your content straight away in Google. Any questions, guys, or anything that you have in mind? We use ClearScope for final optimization, which we have always found to be best. So it will be interesting to see how this does. And there is nothing wrong with using two tools for optimization. Absolutely not, Steven. You can do that. Definitely, that doesn't like there shouldn't be any problem with that. It's just that in certain elements, you might find some variables, like something might be very, on a challenging level at outranking, and something might be very easy at clear scope level. So in certain cases, you will see that your SEO score will climb up quickly in clear scope. In certain cases, the SEO score in outranking might not just climb up, because here we are making sure that the optimization is done to a depth and not just from above. So yeah, there could be some variables here and there, but yeah, you can definitely use two different tools and look into it and make sure that whatever you are creating has some ultimate value to it. Yes, Alessandra, I understand phishing is something which was not related to that topic, but still it is showing it. So that is something that is, irrelevant, and that's where you need to generate some more, AI suggestions. And we are already working on automatic optimization with the enhancement that is coming along with the new release, wherein we are revamping automatic optimization, where you will not see certain, keywords or certain suggestions which might be irrelevant at time in certain cases. So if you see, when we generate the content using first draft, the content is very much relevant. It is in sync with what you're writing. Even when we are writing the outlines, they are very much in sync. But automatic optimization is something wherein it just works on a particular keyword, and sometimes it comes up with something altogether, something which is shocking and something which is surprising sometimes. So you need to look into it, you need to review it and make sure that you are using the right suggestion, or simply adding that keyword manually all by yourself by editing the content. That is also possible, and that should be done if you know the topic very well. And yeah, so, and as I said, like with the new release that we are coming up with, automatic optimization is getting a revamped, and a lot of new enhancements will be going through it, and then you won't be seeing something like this. Will there be a beta for the new release for any customers? Absolutely, Steven. Yeah. So what we do is usually we put up, the new changes, the new enhancements on staging platform, and we invite around 10 to 15 different power users to with a temporary ID. They can log in and they can, just play around. They can create content, and they can look into the enhancements and give us some feedbacks, and then on the basis of those feedbacks we make few more changes wherever it's possible, and then we make the ultimate release on the live. So yeah, definitely, this is something that we do, and yeah, I will keep in mind to give you those credentials when we are on the staging with the new enhancements. All right, guys, any other thing that you would like to talk about, or anything that I can help you with? All right, then we will just conclude the presentation here, the webinar. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And we will get back again soon in a couple of weeks with a new topic. Thank you all. Have a nice weekend.